Hello, everyone. Welcome to the cottage and welcome to your midsummer, summer solstice, Litha, whatever you choose to call it. This is your collective reading, and I'm so excited because, of course, I did the numerology, and the actual day of the summer solstice is 6/21, which is Sunday, 6/21, 2026. And that correlates with the Sun card. I'm so excited because this is the Sabbath that celebrates the sun at its peak. So when I found out that numerology, I was so freaking excited because numerology, if you follow my channel and you follow these readings, I am just so fascinated by it because there has been such a synchronicity with the numbers lately when you work with numerology. So yay! Celebrate the sun, you guys, on Sunday. Sunday is actual sun day. So that is super exciting. So like I said, midsummer is on Sunday. It is the longest day of the year. And a couple of things that I found out and I've known about for a long time, but have never had a real platform to talk about is the fact that in ancient herbalism and folklore, and you know your girl here is an herbalist, that this being the apex or the peak of the sun's power, plants were harvested during this time because they were believed to be sun charged, and it boosted the concentration of vital energy. This made it their most potent time to make botanical medicine and magic with herbs. Yay! So for thousands of years, our ancestors viewed the summer solstice as a magical window of sorts. And druids and traditional herbalists believed that sunlight concentrated the phytochemicals in plants. And Renaissance practitioners famously claimed that an herb or flower picked at solar noon on the solstice held the healing and magical power of 7 herbs or 7 flowers picked on any other day. So let's say on Sunday, I trimmed my mugwort, which I'm planning to do. At noon on Sunday, if I pick my mugwort, then that means it holds the power of 7 mugwort plants. How cool is that? Like, it's so potent, you guys. So if you have a garden and you harvest from your garden any of the sacred midsummer plants, and I'll tell you about those, then it is going to have major potency. So I think that is so cool. So here are your midsummer sacred herbs: St. John's wort, yarrow, roses, lavender, mugwort, chamomile, and lemon balm. So very cool. I'll put those in the description box below, just so you guys have a list. So it was also a time when the veil between the human world and the realm of spirit and the realm of fairies were believed to be at its thinnest. And because fairies and spirits were thought to be abound on Midsummer Night, people wore protective herbal garlands around their head to ward off mischievous or malevolent energies. It wasn't just to look pretty. These were actual protective wards against, being carted off by the fairies. So that was pretty cool. That was a cool thing I found out. Now, historically, people would light large bonfires to mimic the sun and either jumped over the flames or tossed purifying herbs into the fire. That's what our coven did, is we tossed purifying herbs into the fire to release what no longer serves us. Now, this Sabbath is frequently marked by the legendary ritual battle between the twin aspects of the horned god as well. Now, at Litha, the reigning oak king, representing the waxing light, or the light of the half of the year, the light half of the year, is defeated by the Holly King, representing the waning light, signaling the start of the dark half of the year. So the Holly King and the Oak King would fight. The Holly King would defeat the Oak King, and the reigning king would be the Holly King for the rest of the year. And then at Yule, they would have the same fight, and then the Oak King would reign. So the little tradition, a little ritual tradition that they would have. So that's a little bit about Midsummer, in case you guys didn't know. So for this reading, we'll be using my Herb Crafter's Tarot because obvious reasons I got excited about the herbal lore in this. So we'll be using my Herb Crafter's Tarot. It is written by Letitia Guthrie, and the artwork is by, let me grab this real quick, Joanna Powell Colbert. So they did a wonderful job with this deck, and so we'll be using it. And that, isn't that background just awesome? Yes. So we'll be doing that, and we'll be drawing 5 cards, and we'll be discussing what your strengths are, like how you shine. The second card will be how are our shadows showing up. The third will be how we can step into our power. And then how can we create more balance for ourselves? And then finally, what needs our attention right now? So I have all my Midsummer and Sun crystals. We've got amber, we've got honey calcite, citrine, sunstone, opalite, tiger's eye, black tourmaline, pyrite, and ametrine here with us. And of course, our sun card. And the sun card represents success, illumination. It represents expansion and also the inner child. So that is all represented there. And then we have my fake candle here. Trust me, it's fake. I would be screaming right now. Our little LED candle here, because listen, it's hot outside, you guys, and I don't want a real candle on my table. At this point, it is 10:30 in the morning. It would be very hot. So I've shuffled for a while, And I say we just go ahead and lay them on out. Let's get this show on the road. So excited to be doing this with you guys. 2 days away, we had our midsummer coven ritual on last Sunday. It rained part of the time, and then the sun came out, and it was gorgeous. We even had fire spinning. It was just amazing. So really, really enjoyed that. Leave me down in the comments what you guys are going to do for midsummer. I would really love to know. Or maybe you do nothing and this is what you're going to do, is watch this reading. Either way, I'm glad you're here. All right, we have our cards. And I'm going to back it up just a little bit so you guys can see. There we go. Back this candle up. Back our sun card up. All right. Okay. Hey, we have, and you know what, guys? I have been reading a lot of intuitive readings as far as reversals go. So I've not been reading reversals as normal readings. So, yeah, go with me on this one. All right. So what are our strengths and how do we shine? And this is Dandelion, and it's the Fool. So how do we shine and what are our strengths? Well, we are risk takers. We are adventurers. And what I love about this card and why I love the Fool is this is no fucks given. You know, at this particular time of the year, we are just ready to not give a shit. And we are ready to dive into whatever the universe has for us. You know, we have laid down our worries and our cares, and we are ready to dive right in to this dark half of the year. It's like we've been through so much the light half of the year. It's like, what else you got? Because I'm freaking ready. I'm not holding back anymore. It's like, is that all you got? Because I am ready. And if that was any indication, the last 6 months were any indication of what has been going on, I am prepared. I am ready. I'm divinely protected. Bring it on. I love that. So this is our strength. This is where we shine. So the next one, how are our shadows showing up? And we have turmeric, 8 of earth. You know, we can be a little bit of a perfectionist. You know, we can be very critical of ourselves. And sometimes that is a good thing. But it turns to that shadow part when we reach for that level of perfection that does not exist. You know, if we are waiting for the perfect time and, you know, to accomplish something that we are overly ready for, we're sitting on it. We need more Fool energy at that time. Just do it. There's never going to be a quote unquote perfect time. You know, there's never going to be a perfect time to get married. There's never going to be a perfect time to have kids. There's never going to be a perfect time to retire. You know, there's never going to be a perfect time to start a business. You just have to do it. Jump in with that Fool energy. You know, this is our shadow side, right? If we demand perfection, we're never going to get it. It just doesn't exist. We can want perfection all we want, but we're never going to reach it if we have that as a goal. So let go of that perfection. You know, the imperfect is the perfection. Okay. All right. Moving on. How can we step into our power? We have the Hermit with Usnea. Never worked with this herb before. But we can step into our power without having anybody else's permission and by ourselves. We have to do this by ourselves. We have to step into our power alone without the support of anybody else, because that's the Hermit's energy. That's that energy of exploring the self, that inner power. No one's going to tell you what that is. No one's going to shine a light on what your inner power is. You have to find it yourself. You have to search for it. It's embarking on that adventure that is going to that's going to empower you. That's going to allow you to step into your power. But only you can do it. Only you can do it. All right. I love that St. John's Wort, the sun, came into the reading. Yay. I love it, you guys. I was like, please let one of the herbs show up. Just please let one. Just one. I just want one. And one I got, and it is the sun. So how can we create more balance for ourselves? And it's St. John's Wort, the sun. And it's positivity. How can we create more balance for ourselves? By being more positive. By letting ourselves have success. Don't shy away from it. Allow yourself to shine. Allow yourself to illuminate. Allow yourself to focus on the good in your life, because what you focus on expands. That's not the power of positive thinking. That's not the secret. That is facts of the universe. Whatever you pay attention to expands. So instead of focusing on the shitty parts of your life, focus on your blessings. Focus on the wonderful things in your life. The universe will respond by giving you more of the same. If you focus on the positive aspects of your life, the universe goes, oh, you like that, do you? Well, here's some more. It's the law of the universe. It's the way that the universe, that's science, you know, that's physics, that's quantum physics. When you put your attention, that's the law of observation. You're putting your attention and you're observing the good things in life, the universe will dump some more of that into your lap. You know, instead of like calculating how much money you wasted this year, why not calculate how much money you saved? Turn it around. You know what I mean? Turn your mindset around. That is going to create more balance. Yay for the sun being in our tarot spread. I love that. And of course, it's number 19. And what needs our attention right now? Hawthorne the Lovers. And if you guys watched my new moon video earlier this week, I talked extensively about the lovers and about it being balanced between the conscious and the superconscious and coming together and the meeting of the minds. And it's all about this apex right here. You know, we have the conscious and the conscious and the subconscious coming together with the superconscious. This is all about making the best decisions because we are using both sides of our brain. So we need to be using both sides of our brains right now. We need to be using the analytical side and the intuitive side to make the best decisions right now. And taking all of the other cards, you know, in consideration because this is the middle of our reading. But the Lover's card advises us to make the best decisions and make the best choices based on what we analyze and what we intuit, using both sides of the brain to make the best decisions going forward. So we have, how do we shine? We are the fool. We take risks. We are ready for an adventure. We are ready to go into the next chapter, right? And how our shadows show up, we can be a perfectionist. And if we constantly wait for the perfect moment, it's never going to happen. We need to seize the moment. How can we step into our power? With the Hermit. We can empower ourselves because no one else is going to do it for us. How can we create more balance within ourselves? By being more positive and focusing on the good things in life. And what needs our attention right now are making the best decisions possible, using both sides of our brain, the conscious and the subconscious, analytical and the intuitive. Going forward, the other half of the year, we'll be using the Lovers, both sides of our brains, the analytical side and the intuitive side, to make the best decisions we can going forward this year. So that was your Midsummer Tarot spread for the collective. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I know I did, and I learned a little something, and I'm so excited that we had an herb join in from our League of Sacred Midsummer Herbs. I'm so happy about that. Yay for the sun. And I hope that you guys have such a wonderful midsummer on Sunday. I hope at noon you pick a flower from your garden or an herb from your garden. And I hope it is very powerful in all your magic. So please give this video a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any upcoming readings. Please visit my website at theveiledcottagewitch.com, where you can find holistic healing products, my skin and beauty care line, and my ritual and spell aids. Make sure you download the app. It makes it much easier to navigate everything. At checkout, please remember to enter the code word, all caps veiled, to get free shipping. That's only available through my videos, and it's my little gift from me to you. So please take advantage of that. If you'd like to financially support this channel and give me a tip, that's fine. You can do so. There are several ways down in the description box, or you can scan this QR code right here. Much appreciated, but not necessary. Just live your best life and live for yourself. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.